أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم سيدنا محمد وآله وأصحابه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord, cherisher, nourisher, sustainer and master of the universe, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Ya Allah, it is on you that we worship and is your guidance that we seek. Ya Allah, keep us in the straight path. Ya Allah, show us the choice of blessings. Ya Allah, show us your mercy. Ya Allah, guide us. Greetings, salam, salutations on our beloved Nabi Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's now 7 minutes past 8 Central African time on this Saturday morning, the 11th of May 2024, the 2nd of Zulqa'dah 1445. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to Rise and Shine on Radio Al Ansar with myself, Faizal MJ Suleman. Engineering for me in our studio this morning is Brother Mondley, and attending to logistics is Wasima Bucks. Program is produced by Hajra Kota. Just to update us on what seems to be happening, small KZN parties are confident ahead of provincial election. Some of the smaller political parties in KwaZulu-Natal are confident that they have a shot at governing the province after this month's elections. The Allied Movement for Change is contesting the provincial elections. The party's leader, Ahmed Mansoor Sheikh Imam, believes South Africa doesn't need any political party to have an absolute majority. Sheikh Imam thinks a co-governed state is better. He says the majority system has not worked for the country and has made way for corruption. Sheikh Imam says if elected to power, his party would do away with the current tendering system. And SA's blood stocks could run out in 48 hours. The South African National Blood Service says it's at risk of running out of stocks in the next 2 days. The blood bank's making a desperate appeal for donations, saying this is to avoid a crisis in the country's healthcare system. The SANBS's Sifiso Koza says the current shortage is already affecting patient care. Koza says the notion that donations are only needed during the holidays is untrue. He explains that they need at least 5 days cover to meet the daily demand. Muslim marriages are formally recognized. President Cyril Ramaphosa has signed the Divorce Amendment Bill into law. It amends the Divorce Act to protect Muslim women and children in the event of a divorce. The Divorce Act previously differentiated between people married under the Marriage Act and those married under Islamic law. 2 years ago, the Constitutional Court ruled that the lack of recognition of Muslim marriages infringes on the dignity of Muslim women. It found that Muslim women and their children were not afforded the legal remedies and protections that are available under the Marriage Act. The case stemmed from a challenge brought by the Women's Legal Center. And the world's largest floating book fair has officially opened in Durban. The Durban chapter of the world's largest floating book fair has officially opened to the public. The Logos Hope returned to the city over a week ago, docking at the Nelson Mandela Cruise Terminal. The ship's book fair began today with its more than 500 volunteers international crew ready to welcome book lovers on board. There are over 5,000 titles to browse or buy on the vessel. Publishers worldwide supply books which cover a wide range of categories, including novels, children's books, and medicine. Logos Hope is operated by GBA Ships, a non-profit German organization. It collaborates with local partners on charitable projects. Local teacher Lee Beard joined the launch on Wednesday and said it would open a new world for future bookworms. Yep, it might be our way back into the world of reading hard books. Right now, most of us are on Kindles and things like that. And of course, I hope that this will bring us back to the world of reading physical books. 060-904-1056, a WhatsApp number, 060-904-1056. We look forward to your WhatsApp messages. First message comes from Sister Leila Mehta. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to the esteemed Ummah of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Peace, blessings and salutations be upon Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah for another blessing as it humbles from sujood. Allahu Akbar. When my understanding of your wisdom for my well-being fails to accept, Ya Rahman, please forgive and guide me. Ameen. May Allah SWT grant ease, protection, and overflowing barakah to the Ummah of Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Ameen. Have a blessed weekend ahead. Salams and dua, Sister Layla Mehta. And then she comes to inspiring reflections. I don't know the amount of suffering in your heart, but Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam taught me that there are pains and aches that people don't understand, and neither can they comfort you the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can and does. And the older I get, the more I realize why Yaqub alayhi salam said, I only complain my suffering to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the hadith and dua for this morning, Bismillah walhamdulillahi wassalatu wassalam ala Rasulillah, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, increase in saying La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, for it's a treasure from the treasures of paradise. Jazakallah khair for that message, Sister Layla Mehta. And coming to Sister Ruqayya's message, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my brother Faizal and the Rise and Shine team. A wise man once said, don't be afraid to start over again. This time you're not starting from scratch. You are starting from experience. Treat people the way you want to be treated, with kindness, compassion, and love. The greatest gift you can give someone is unconditional love and acceptance. Those who thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even in trials turn the burdens into blessings. So keep your faith close to your heart and trust in the Almighty Allah. Ameen. May my Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you, my brother Faizal, and your family, and the entire Ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Comes from Sister Ruqayya. Shukran, Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sister Ruqayya. And a message from Brother Yusuf Patel. Okay, there's two messages. It says, we can always lose some things for someone, but we should not lose someone for some things. Because life can always return some things, but not someone. And then a second message says, look at the sky. We are not alone. The whole universe is friendly to us and conspires only to give best to those who dream and work. We all are the child of the universe, no less than the moon and the stars. We have a right to be here. Salams and duas, Brother Yusuf Patel. Brother Yusuf Patel, always getting us thinking. Lovely, brother. Okay, there's two more messages from Brother Yusuf Patel. Alhamdulillah, he's on a roll this morning. Do the best until you know better. Then when you know better, do better. I learned to give not because I have much, but because I know exactly how it feels to have nothing. Be like the pineapple, stand tall, wear a crown, ignore or shed off the roughage around you, and be sweet on the inside. Do remember Palestine in all your duas, and comes to Brother Yusuf Patel. Jazakallah khair for that. And finally, Brother Yusuf Patel's final message to us. I've seen better days, but I've also seen worse. I don't have everything that I want, but I do have all that I need. I woke up with aches and pains, but I woke up. My life may not be perfect, but I'm blessed. We all have a choice in life, to exist with bitterness and contempt, or to live with contentment and love. Listen to your soul. It's older than your heart and wiser than your mind. Bob Marley once said, the day you stop racing is the day you win the race. And this comes from Brother Yusuf Patel. Jazakallah khair for the messages, Brother Yusuf Patel. Most appreciated. And then I get a message from Sister Amina Muhammad Hanif. Having Allah on your side doesn't mean sailing on an ocean with no waves. You will have storms, waves, but when you have true faith in Allah and on His mercy, no storm can sink your ship. Assalamu alaikum, and wishing you a blessed day. And then the second picture comes from her, says, Assalamu alaikum. Do not carry the worries of this life, because this is for Allah, and do not carry the worries of sustenance, because it is from Allah, and do not carry anxiety for the future, because it is in the hands of Allah. Carry one thing, how to please Allah, because if you please Him, He pleases you, fulfills you, and enriches you.
Expressed by the presenters and guests of Radio Al Ansar are not necessarily the views and opinions of Radio Al Ansar and the Al Ansar Foundation.
In the heart of our homes, we seek blessings and quality. Farah stands with you, offering appliances that bring these values to your kitchen. Durable, reliable, and crafted to the highest standards. Every Farah appliance is an investment in your family's well-being. Discover the promise of quality with our trusted range at farah.co.za. Farah, better cooking.
Are you going for Hajj or Umrah? We at the Al Ansar shop have you covered. Ihram belts and kitabs. We also stockist of Zamzam water from the wells of Makkah, dates from Medina, and from our local supplier frozen samosas, all at a ridiculously low price. Visit us at 207 West Road, Overport. Al Ansar shop, your one-stop Islamic shop.
Advertising pays. Get your business on the map through advertising with Radio Al Ansar, the station with a proven record. Let's talk to Zain of The Watch Doctor, a newcomer in the market.
I'll recommend advertising on Radio Al Ansar for sure, as my client base has increased substantially. Totally unexpected.
There you have it. Join the airwaves and take it up to another level. Call us on 031-208-1601 and ask for Fatima Shahina or Faraz Bucks, our consultants. Let your name be heard by thousands of people. Radio Al Ansar, your partner in business.
Radio Al Ansar International, in collaboration with Radio Islam, invite you to an electrifying political debate. Join us on Wednesday, the 15th of May at 7:30 p.m. at Al Ansar Hall at 189 West Road, Overport, to hear directly from the ANC, EFF, DA, and many more as they share their vision for our future. This critical event will be moderated by Yunus Akur, CEO of Al Ansar, and Maulana Suleman Rawat of Radio Islam. This event is open to the public, so be there and make your voice heard. Because
Radio Al
remember,
Ansar,
every vote
24/7,
counts.
365.
Rise and shine on Radio Al Ansar, and a message comes from Mrs. Rahman. Assalamu alaikum, Faizal. I wonder what Netanyahu is going to do now, since his counterpart has stopped supplying arms to him. I wonder how it will play out for him. Initially, the other countries didn't give the Israelis land to settle, but they were too quick to sell their arms to the Israelis. If it wasn't for those countries, the Israelis would have been finished in October. They still cannot defeat Hamas. It is great listening to you. You make our Saturday special. Enjoy the rest of your day, Mrs. Rahman. Jazakallah khair for the kind words and sentiments, Mrs. Rahman. Most appreciated. And you also have a wonderful day.
हम भी बेबस नहीं, बेसहारा नहीं, खुद उन्हीं को पुकारेंगे हम दूर से, रास्ते में अगर पाँव थक जाएंगे, फासलों को तकल्लुफ है हम से अगर, हम मदीने में तन्हा निकल जाएंगे और गलियों में कसदन भटक जाएंगे, हम वहाँ जाके वापस नहीं आएंगे, ढूंढते ढूंढते लोग थक जाएंगे, जैसे ही सब्ज गुंबद नजर.
We'd love to meet you. Pay us a visit. Radio Al Ansar. It's the final countdown to the event of the year. That's right, it can only be the Magma Agri Fair in Camperdown, taking place on Saturday the 25th and Sunday the 26th of May at plot D353 Umlas Road. Get Qurbani ready with us at the live animal auctions, not to be missed. A weekend jam-packed with entertainment and fun as always. More shopping, more food, more Magma. See you there.
The Watch Doctor. For watch repairs, watch batteries, watch straps, 21st keys, engraving, and sound for your occasion. Handled professionally at 263 Sparks Road, Mohammedia Center, Suite 104, Overport, next to the Sparks Road Masjid. Contact Zain on 082 542 3070. The Watch Doctor. The Watch Doctor. Keeping time every time.
Salam, I'm Muhammad Harimi from Palestine with my sister Samiha. Together with Shamsan, we'll be taking you to the heart of the struggle where we live in South Ibrahim Hills in the West Bank. We'll be screening our awards-winning documentary, Sarur, The Future is Unknown Place, that follows out activist group as Youth of Sumud as we confront the violent settler and military occupation forces. Join us for this in Durban at An-Nassar Hall, Tuesday, 14th of May at 5:45 to 4:06 p.m.
Radio Al Ansar's Hajj Farewell live broadcast. Join us for a live broadcast from King Shaka Airport as we bid farewell to the Hujjaj this Sunday, the 12th of May at 3:30 and 5:30 in the afternoon. A live broadcast from King Shaka International Airport. Join us as we bid farewell to the Hujjaj, only on Radio Al Ansar.
At Al Ansar Outreach, our commitment to serving those in need is unwavering. We have now updated our Zakah banking details, making it easier than ever to contribute to our noble charity drives. Bank, First National Bank. Account name, Zakah Al Ansar. Account type, check account. Account number, 631-002-03065. Branch, Florida Road. Join us in our mission of giving back, one act of kindness at a time. Thank you for your continued support and generosity.
Radio Al Ansar, Durban, 90.4 FM. Peter Maritzburg, 105.6 FM.
You're listening to Rise and Shine on Radio Al Ansar with myself, Faizal and Suleman. The Nelson Mandela Children's Fund said the 2024 Africa Children's Summit will play a vital role in empowering African children and will create a space where they feel seen and have their concerns heard. We have online with us Mr. Enzio Jacobs, Nelson Mandela Children's Fund's Child Safety and Protection Lead, and he is going to be discussing this particular summit and its issues and how it focuses on issues affecting children with us. Good morning to you, Mr. Enzio Jacobs, and thank you for joining me on the program this morning.
Good morning, Faizal, and good morning to your listeners. Thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure. Now, how does the summit contribute to empowering African children and addressing their concerns?
So the summit is quite unique in that it's building a movement of African children. We will be joined by 500 children this August in Johannesburg, South Africa. 250 of those will be in person and up to 300 more online. And what these children will be doing is engaging in policy discussions where these policies are having a tangible impact on their lives. The sub-theme of this year is education. And so they'll be thinking through some of the challenges that they face in education and engaging with policymakers who are making policies that have a tangible effect on the way they experience education as children.
Thank you. I think I will go one step back. In fact, I should have posed this question first. Can you explain what is the Nelson Mandela, the African Children's, what is the African Children's Summit, and what is the summit?
So the summit, maybe I should take a step back. Also, the summit was something that was initiated by children as early as 2021, rather. And the ask from children was that they have a meeting where they could discuss policies and legal frameworks that affect them because their voices are so often left out. And so last year in April, for the first time, an African Children's Summit took place. And at that summit, a outcome statement was produced, which summarized the children's concerns into a single document. At the end of that summit, South Africa made a bid to host the summit. The South African children that were in attendance there made the bid, and the bid was successful. And so this year, we will host the second ever Africa Children's Summit. It is much larger than last year's summit. It includes a broader diversity of children. And of course, will take place here on South African soil so that we can show how proudly South African we are in our attempts to make children's lives better here.
Absolutely wonderful. Now, what strategies do you think will be discussed at the summit for addressing the challenges that African children face, such as access to education, healthcare, protection from violence, exploitation, etc.?
So one of the strategies that I'm really looking forward to is the children have asked to speak to the policymakers themselves and directly. So we've got officials that will come from a delegation of the United Nations Commission on the Rights of Children. So the commissioner herself will come, Professor Anne Skelton. We'll be joined by the UN Secretary General Special Rapporteur on Violence Against Children, Dr. Najat Malla, and also by Prof. Jaffe, who who works within the Commission of the Rights of Children at a UN level. We've also got the AU delegation coming, the Committee of Experts on the Rights and Welfare of Children. And these two bodies are responsible at a regional level and an international level for the safety and well-being of children in Africa. And so in addition to these, we will have local government officials, the Department of Social Development in South Africa also joining the conversation. Why this is an important methodology or tool for the children is that they will speak in their own voices to the policymakers who are making decisions on their behalf. And they will then be seen, heard, and engaged, as the sub-theme suggests, in the context of education, where they will make practical inputs into their day-to-day experiences. Some of the things that children are highlighting, for example, is that AI is increasingly becoming part of education, and there are some pitfalls and some successes in the use of AI, but that not all African children have access to AI in the same way that not all South African children have that access. They're curious about what the impact of nutrition is in the context of education, and so you'd know that some children don't eat when they go to school, and this has an impact on their learning. They're also curious about things like transportation to school and back and their physical safety in school environments. We've seen over the last couple of months some hectic incidences of violence in schools between teachers and students themselves. So those are some of the things that they would want to discuss and develop methodologies around to have a voice in those discussions.
Absolutely interesting, and I think very, very, very necessary. In fact, I think it's about time, these aspects were addressed, and I'm really excited that these are being addressed. Now, in what ways do you think the summit will help raise awareness about the importance of investing in children's rights and well-being across South Africa? Across Africa, sorry.
I think this is a unique time to raise awareness. Your listeners may not be aware. Currently, 50% of the South African population is aged 15 and below. This is very much similar to the trends on the continent as a whole. Our continent has 50% of the continent aged 19 and below. And so it's really important that we get the youngest people in our communities, in our countries, and in our spaces to speak up for themselves, because everything that we do, all the decisions that adults are making, all of the major policy changes that come up, all of the economic decisions and the environmental decisions ultimately will affect that category of people, and that category of people is children. So it's really imperative that they are able to engage, be seen, heard, and engaged in the context of education in particular, because education is going to be the thing that drives our workforce in the next generation. And if we look at the amount of 15-year-olds and below, within one generation, the majority of the workforce in this country will be young people. If we are not creating the platforms for them to speak, if we are not creating the platforms for them to engage, we are doing ourselves a disservice, because the workforce will invariably change. And the trends in that workforce across the continent could now be determined in the context of this conversation, which will in turn have an impact not only on local policy, but regional policy and international policy at that. We really want African children to start to take charge of their own destiny and some of the issues that are affecting them currently in their context.
Now, looking ahead, what are some of the key priorities or actions that need to be taken to sustain the momentum generated by the 2024 Africa Children's Summit and ensure lasting change for African children?
So the key hallmark this year is to lock in frameworks. I think South Africa will be the first delegation that will ensure that participation is fair. That means that children from far and wide, those children hardest to reach, children who are living on the streets, children who are in child-headed households, children who are affected by or impacted by sex work, children who are on the move, children who are without documentation, those children will be the ones who will have their voices heard within this context alongside other children. And we hope that the tangible impact of that is that their voices are heard and the policymakers then start implementing policy in response to children. In the South African context in particular, this is important because children are the only 100% protected category in the Constitution of South Africa. And because of that protection, it means that when children speak on their own accord, and when they engage with officials in our context in particular, the officials are bound by the asks that children make. They may not have to act in real time, but they certainly have to consider in earnest the information that is put forward by children and also the requests. On the regional level, though, one of the big things is that we've managed to agree with the African Committee of Experts on the Rights and Welfare of Children that they will take the outcome statement this year as part of their work and consider it in their next sitting, which takes place after the conference in November. So the children will take their outcome statement and present it at the AU level, and the African Committee of Experts on the Rights and Welfare of Children will in turn take that information to the African Union Commission, where South Africa and many other countries on the continent are signatory to the diplomatic ties at that level, which means that when something is said there, there is a general comment which is persuasive to most states. Our hope is that when the children start to talk about access to education, access to nutrition, and access to safe environments in schools, that those things can be legislated and instituted at a country level. And we hope that having the support of the UN in turn will enable us to do so, especially with resource inputs from other regions.
Mr. Anzio Jacobs, I want to thank you for joining me on the program this morning. Undoubtedly, very interesting, and a topic that, that's going to affect everybody. I'm going to talk to you hopefully just, during the summit, or just slightly prior to the summit, so that we can just create that awareness and appraise ourselves as well. Mr. Jacobs, I'm sure you have a message for our listeners.
I do. Anybody who's listening who would like to get their children involved, please do not hesitate to register the children. You can go to acs.nelsonmandelachildrensfund.co.za, and there you will find registration forms and all of the relevant information. Unfortunately, there will be a selection process, as there are only 250 children who will physically be in the room. But if your children are unable to attend the physical summit, the Deputy Minister of Social Development in South Africa has agreed that screens will be put around the country in areas that are easy to access and areas that the department is working with, so that children are able to watch the summit and also then communicate with the summit using social media and digital media more broadly. So we really do encourage children far and wide to start engaging in the conversation, to find out what the Africa Children's Summit is about, and to see how it is that they can be involved, seen, heard, and engaged in the context of education.
Thank you so much, Mr. Anzio Jacobs. Enjoy the rest of the day. All the best to you. And yes, goodbye.
Thanks, Faizal. Sure.
Thanks. We spoke to Anzio Jacobs, and he's from the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund Child Safety and Protection Lead. And he spoke to us about the African Children's Summit that's forthcoming.
सोचा मेरिया मदीने वल जांदियां दुरूदा दी सदा बन के मेरे लब्बां उते होके मुड़ रहिंदे ने मदीने दी दुआ बन के सोचा मेरिया मदीने वल जांदियां दुरूदा दी सदा बन के सोचा मेरिया अखां नाल तक लेवा अल्लाह दे हबीब नू ओते चमकावा जाके अपने नसीब नू ओते चमकावा जाके अपने नसीब नू रवा घूमदा रवा घूमदा मदीने दिया गलियां मदीने दी हवा बन के सोचा मेरिया मदीने वल जांदियां दुरूदा दी सदा बन के सोचा मेरिया रहमत दी तस्वीर मदीना आशिक दी जागीर मदीना हर आशिक दा किबला काबा इश्क दी ये जंजीर मदीना रोज निकल के अख दी जूछू लबदन मेरे नीर मदीना मर जावा ते कर छड़े आजे कफन उते तहरीर मदीना प्यार दा पहला बाप है तेबा कुल चेहरा दा पीर मदीना तख्त हजारे वलना बेंदी जे तक लेंदी हीर मदीना दीन दी खातिर छड़या है सी रो रो के शबीर मदीना हर शे ना सिर मिट जानी
06090411056. Yes, forward to us your messages via WhatsApp in the inspirational messages, and I'm going to read them out, inshallah. Message comes from Brother Osman. Heavy rains remind us of challenges in life. Never ask for a lighter rain, just pray to Allah for a better umbrella. That is the attitude. I love that one. Life is not about finding the right person, but creating the right relationship. It's how we can care in the beginning, but how much we care till the very end. Some people always throw stones in your path. It depends on what you make with them. A wall or a bridge. Remember, you are the architect of your life. Search for a good heart, but don't search for a beautiful face, because beautiful things are not always good, but good things are always beautiful. It's not important to hold all the good cards in life, but it's important how well you play the cards with the cards that you hold. Often, when we lose all hope and think this is the end, remember Allah and pray. It's just a bend, not the end. Have faith and have a successful life. One of the basic differences between Allah and humans is Allah SWT gives and forgives, but the human gets and forgets. Be thankful in life. Brother Osman, these are beautiful sayings that you sent to us. If you think it is your alarm clock that woke you up this morning, try putting it beside a dead body and you will realize that it is the grace of Allah that woke you up. If you are grateful to Allah, forward this to all your friends and inform them that it's just by the grace of Allah that we are alive. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair for that, Brother Osman. Some really beautiful stuff that you sent to us. Another WhatsApp message that's come through. Do we ever realize how fortunate we are to have parents, to have brothers and sisters, to have shelter, to have food and clothing? Basic necessities and requirements that many do not have. To have health and the facility of your entire body. To have a source of income and be able to provide for your family. To be amongst a neighborhood that is not threatening. Just consider that as immeasurable wealth. There are parents that are forced to sell their children into bondage to save the rest of the family. Worse still, there are parents who do so for money. Worse so are parents who have no compunction. I don't know what's the word. Have no compunction in defiling their own children. Let us be grateful for the righteousness of our lives with whatever difficulties we may face. Let us reflect on the amazing lifetime experiences of Palestinians who are truly living for martyrdom. They are blessed. May Allah SWT bless us with their saintly beliefs. May Allah SWT bless us with their astounding faith. Jazakallah khair for that message. Sorry, there was a word that didn't make sense to me. Have no compunction in defiling their own children. But I'm sure somebody can help me with that particular word. We'll take listen to Nasheed, take a short break, and then we'll be speaking to Sister Nadia Mir, and she will be talking to us about the Sarura, The Future is an Unknown Place, a documentary that we will be playing on Tuesday night, inshallah.
There's nothing quite like the taste of a traditional family meal, and at the heart of every great dish is a key ingredient that brings it all together. That ingredient is Sunfoil pure sunflower cooking oil, made from only the finest sunflower seeds. It's a perfect way to enhance the taste of your family's favorite foods. Sunfoil cooking oil is more than just oil. It's the key to bring your family together over a delicious meal and make every bite taste better. Remember, the key ingredient to a great family meal is Sunfoil. Tradition just tastes better.
Al-Ansar Shops trading hours are Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sundays and public holidays, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Al-Ansar Shop, your one-stop Islamic shop.
The Outreach Slice of Life campaign. Since its inception, our Slice of Life has touched the lives of countless individuals through our distribution to schools, old age homes, orphanages, and deserving families within our community. This initiative has been instrumental in alleviating hunger. For only 9 Rand a loaf, you will be providing a family with their daily staple, bread. Donate now on www.alansar.org.za or call Outreach on 031 208 1601.
This and only this is Nightline. Nightline is the only program that allows you to listen to the opportunity to voice your opinion on any matter or any topic that concerns you. Also on Nightline, we interview the famous, the not so famous, and infamous. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Brother Muhammad Varyawa, and with me in the studio is Dr. Anwar Jiwa. Join us every Saturday night from 8:30 p.m. till 10:30 p.m. on Nightline, the program designed especially for you, the listener.
Radio Al Ansar, Durban, 90.4 FM, Peter Maritzburg, 105.6 FM.
You're listening to Rise and Shine on Radio Al Ansar with myself, Faizal MJ Suleman. Now, on Tuesday evening, we will be screening the documentary Sarura, The Future is an Unknown Place at our Al Ansar Hall at 189 West Road, Overport, inshallah ta'ala. And of course, we will also be talking to our guests, Samiha and Mohammed Huraini from the youth of Samud. These young activists lead the resistance in the Musafariyata area of the South Hebron Hills, which face some of the most extremist settlements and constant threat of displacement. To discuss more on this documentary, we have online with us Sister Nadia Mir. Nadia, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and jazakallah khair for joining me in the program this morning.
Wa alaikum assalam. Thank you so much for contacting us. I'm speaking to you from Johannesburg, where we're attending the global anti-apartheid conference for Palestine.
Mm-hmm. No, excellent. Well, I think I'm going to talk to you twofold here, if you don't mind, Nadia. Firstly, talk to us a bit about the documentary that we will be, featuring on Tuesday evening, and thereafter you can talk to us a bit about the summit that you're attending as well. I'll leave it to you.
Sure. Well, let me explain that this film, as you introduced, is about the youth that are living in this area. It's what is part of an Area C. Under Oslo, Palestine was divided up into different zones. So this is Area C, which means it is completely under Israeli rule. And so whereas in other areas, there's still some Palestinian Authority involvement, in this area particularly, there's no such assistance. And so residents are entirely dependent on the Israeli military, which then means that, they're defenseless. Even if they are attacked, it's very unlikely that they get justice. And this is the case for these young people and, the communities that live there. So the film generally follows them. It's part of a trilogy. So the same filmmaker has documented their parents' generation, and they were all young children, in the last film. And then this film, Sarura, shows the emergence of this youth group called the Youth of Samud, and it documents generally what's happening, and then some of the members, but in particular, that tell their own personal story.
Mm-hmm. Now, Samia and Mohammed will both be present at the screening of this documentary. Is that correct, Nadia?
Yes, inshallah. We hope to get to Durban by tomorrow.
And
after the conference.
Mm-hmm. And after speaking on the film, they would be open to question and answers as well.
Absolutely, and we're happy to engage with communities and possibly to go out to other other platforms to engage with youth in particular. That's what we've tried to do here as well, so that work that they're doing gets amplified. They're wanting to create connections with people. It's very important that we do keep a focus. Of course, there is so much happening in the world generally, in Gaza specifically now where our focus is, but we can't forget what is happening in the West Bank that has been ongoing for many years. In their area in particular, it's under threat of annexation into the Greater Israel Project. And they've already been receiving orders for the last 3 to 4 years. And it's an area where they've suffered most demolitions and displacement. People are not even allowed to live in tents. And so what you will see in the film is them renovating and moving into caves, and that's how people largely live in their area.
And obviously you've seen the movie, the documentary on several, I'm sure you must have seen it a few times. You've got intimate knowledge of this particular documentary. What impact do you foresee this will have on our audience?
I think it's largely unknown what happens there. It's an area that is way south. Most of South Africans that do visit Palestine end up just in Jerusalem, and then they make trips, to religious sites, and they do go to Hebron, to Khalil, to visit the Ibrahimi Mosque. But very few venture out into that area, and I think it will be really eye-opening. The other thing that I'd like to mention is that the Israeli settlers, the predominantly largest numbers, are South African, and they're actually Afrikaner South Africans that were formerly Christian members of the NG Kerk that have now embraced Judaism, and they're the most vicious and nasty, of the settlers that are threatening the existence of the Hurenis and other families settled in this area.
It's really heartbreaking when one of your own people are there doing this. It becomes really problematic. Now, Nadia, I want to ask our listeners to join us on Tuesday evening. What message would you give to them, prompting them to join us?
I think all of us are witnessing what's happening, the genocide in Gaza, and we're upset and we're angry and we're wanting to do and learn more. And I think this is an incredible opportunity to do exactly that, to learn and to meet and to be in solidarity with all Palestinians, particularly these young people, because the future of the Palestinian state really rests on young people like them.
Nadia, in 2 minutes, if you can just talk to us a bit of the summit that you're attending in Johannesburg right now.
This summit is incredibly important. It has been called for by the elders, led by Reverend Frank Chikane. And essentially the idea is to mobilize what worked in South Africa, the anti-apartheid movement that was victorious in bringing about our freedom. So they're looking at strategies and ways that we can do similar to support Palestinians now.
We look forward to meeting you and the team on Tuesday evening, inshallah. So do have a safe journey back, and all the best to you, Nadia. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
Thank you.
We thank Nadia Amir for having joined us in the program this morning, and she spoke to us about the event that we have planned for Tuesday evening, wherein we will be playing the documentary from Palestine, which is called Sarura, The Future is an Unknown Place. If you're in the area, please do visit us. Please join us at this this remarkable event that has been planned, and we look forward to meeting you.
شتى الصور أحب الوفي الأمين الأغر فأهل الوفاء كلام للسحاب وحسن الربيع وماء المطر مقامه
Sparkle. Captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness. And every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and free zakat calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
اللهم احفظ المسجد الأقصى من اليهود الحاقدين اللهم أعد المسجد الأقصى إلى رحاب المسلمين اللهم وطهر المسجد الأقصى من اليهود الغاصبين اللهم عليك بهم فإنهم لا يعجزونك يا قوي يا متين اللهم منزل الكتاب مجري السحاب هازم الأحزاب سريع الحساب اهزم اليهود وزلزلهم يا قوي يا
Radio Al-Ansar.
In the occupied East Jerusalem, Israeli forces have stormed the Shafat refugee camp, surrounding the house of a Palestinian man who was killed by Israeli gunfire in February last year. Local sources say that Israeli forces evacuated the family from the house before demolishing it. This comes after the tearing down of dozens of Palestinian Bedouin-owned homes in Negev on Wednesday. Let's listen to this audio clip.
Israeli forces surround a house in occupied East Jerusalem before razing it to the ground. Just a day earlier, they destroyed 47 homes owned by Palestinian Bedouins in Negev, saying the buildings were illegally constructed. On Tuesday, Palestinian families sat outside and watched as bulldozers tore down their homes. They wanted to fight back, but were overwhelmed.
We were surprised this morning by a large force from the occupation army, reinforced with a demolition unit and a bulldozer. They started demolishing the house of Ahmed Hamad al-Nawaja in the area of Wadi al-Juwaya in Masafer Yatta.
Israel has demolished 11,000 buildings in the occupied West Bank since 2009. Human Rights Watch says Israel has created a legal structure that allows it to demolish Palestinian homes by denying them building permits and then persecuting them for building anyway.
This house was inhabited by a family of 10. They are now homeless, with no alternative to this house. However, the Israeli occupation policy is always seeking to displace the residents and make life difficult for the citizens. As I mentioned, displacing the residents to expand the plans.
Israel's far-right National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir welcomed the demolitions, saying it's an important move of sovereignty and governance. But for the Palestinians affected, it's no more than a thinly veiled effort to displace them from their land. Kübra Akkoç, TRT World.
You're listening to Rise and Shine on Radio Al-Ansar with myself, Faizal MJ Suleman. Now, World Kefir Day is an annual event held on the 11th of May in conjunction with Nakba Day on 15th of May. It is a global movement to bring awareness and show visual solidarity with the Palestinian cause and struggle. It was first initiated by the Solidarity for Palestinian Human Rights at Concordia University in Canada and has since spread rapidly. Whilst we understand what the day is, we may not know why the keffiyeh has been chosen as the symbol for this day. The keffiyeh is a gender-neutral checkered scarf that you'll usually see in either red or in black. The Palestinian keffiyeh is black and white. The keffiyeh has always been a symbol for the Palestinian people since Al-Nakba. These acts of solidarity are extremely important to the people of Palestine. It lets them know that they are not alone, and more importantly, it forces dialogue to take place so people know what is going on. As long as people continue with it, there is a chance that one day Palestine will be free.
Welcome to Simplex Radio. Visit our showroom for the full range of car audio. Our TV department carries top brands with quality LED panels, full HD to Ultra HD, and now the experience of Super Ultra HD. Visit our theater rooms and transform your home with brands like Onkyo, Integra, Denon, Boston Acoustics, Yamaha, and more for quality audio visual experience. Now available, full range of home appliances. A one-stop shopping experience. Call 031 306 4029 or Kenilworth Park, 202 Brickfield Road, Overport. Simplex Radio. The name you can
So Ramadan started, and a few days into it, the bombing started in Gaza. This small, tiny piece of land, and the bombs were raining down from the skies. People in those places are crying out, "Where are the Arab rulers? Radio Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam."
Palestine, Palestine, we love you, Palestine. We know that someday you'll be free. From the mountains to the sea, beloved Palestine, the Lord above will set you free. Palestine, Palestine, we love you, Palestine. We know that someday you'll be free. From the mountains to the sea.
WhatsApp message comes through, says, Assalamu alaikum. May the peace, blessings, and mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be upon you. Palestinians are suffocating now in Rafah. Read aloud, sensing the situation while being certain of our worthiness for Allah to hear our cry for help, and say Ameen. Share this supplication. O Allah, O pillar of the one who has no pillar, O protector of the weak and savior of the perishing, O great hope, O mighty, O mighty, O mighty Allah. We complain to you of our weakness and lack of resourcefulness. O Allah, we ask you, O Allah, give relief to those calling for help and safety to those who are afraid. Help the people of Gaza, O Allah, help the people of Gaza, O Allah, help the people of Gaza. O Allah, remove their distress, O Allah, hasten their relief. O Allah, bring peace between their hearts and unite the word to the truth. O Lord of the worlds, O Allah, O possessor of majesty and honor, O ever-living, O sustaining, O most friendly, O most kind, O possessor of the glorious throne, O originator, O restorer, O effective of what you want, O Allah, we ask you to have mercy on the people of Gaza. O Allah, grant them your support. O Allah, shade them with clouds and shade them with your angels. O Allah, and shade them with your mercy and forgiveness and your compassion. O Allah, relieve their burdens and strengthen their hearts. O Allah, grant them warmth, peace, security, and safety. O Allah, send patience to them, make their feet firm, and bestow upon them the blessings of safety, security, and faith. O Allah, put light in their hearts, light in their hearing, light above them, and light below them, and light on their right, and light on the left. O Allah, O Allah, O Allah, O the most strong, O the most kind, O supporter of the oppressed, and O the guardian of the believers. We ask you for your mercy and forgiveness, your generous presence and benevolence, to accept our martyrs and heal their wounded. May Allah have mercy on our bereaved mothers, widowed wives, the kneeling elderly, and the orphan children. Who is their protector but you? Who is their supporter but you? Who is merciful to them but you? And who is their representative but you? O Allah, strike the oppressors with your might. Expel from Gaza the infidels and enemies of religion. O Allah, disperse the oppressors and divide them from uniting. O Allah, whoever wants division, hostility towards Gaza and Palestine, O Allah, tear them apart. O Allah, bring them to account in numbers, destroy their plots, and do not leave any of them behind. May Allah's blessings and peace be upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his family and his companions. Ameen summa ameen to all the du'as. Time for me to round up. Mondley, thank you for having engineered for me and for the top job done. Thank you so much, Mondley. Wasima Bucks, thank you for the logistics. Hajja Kota, thank you for having produced the program. And thank you, our wonderful and esteemed listeners, for having tuned into Radio Al Ansar. Time for me to bid you farewell. Enjoy the rest of the day, and after the news, Dr. Amin would be joining you as well, and on his alternate healing show. So till I talk to you again, for myself, Faizal MJ Suleman, have a wonderful weekend, and it's Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.